So, people like to ask me all the time why I'm so optimistic about Fallout 4. Is there anything I am personally afraid of when it comes to this game? And the answer is usually no. I'm entirely positive that this game will be the Fallout I want. But then I did a little reading. I found an article in Game Informer about Fallout 4, and it was something that scared me. Usually when someone asks me, is there anything wrong with Fallout 4, I usually jump to something that's kind of small, like the UI or whatever, something that I can change through mods, something that won't deter me from the game fully. But I think I found something that actually legitimately scares me about this game, and that is Fallout 4's brand new feature that's been present in a few games here and there, but most recently The Witcher 3, which is called the rubber banding system. Now, what is this rubber banding system, Matty? The rubber banding system in Fallout 4 is basically as such. There are regions in the world that have their certain level thresholds, so you'll have an area that's 5 to 10, then an area that's 30 to 35, and an area that's 27 to 30, I don't know. And so now you kind of probably see where I'm getting at. What this does essentially is diminishes exploration in the game. Like I said, Witcher 3 is a fantastic game. I love that game to death, but I really didn't feel free in its world. Why is that? Because when I decided to go out and explore, I'd end up trekking into lands that I shouldn't be in, and I'd die. And then I'd go back to quests that I were forced to complete instead of doing it because I decided I wanted a quest. One of my favorite things in a Bethesda Game Studios game is to go ahead and just do it. Just go out and do it. By this, I mean, like, I want to go inside a bunch of caves. I'm gonna go do that. I want to go ahead and quest a little bit now. I'm gonna do that. Now, it seems like I'm forced down these paths where I might have to do the story for a little bit so I can level up and then go do some side stuff. Now, there are obviously perks to this rubber banding system, and the only one I can truly think of is the fact that I feel rewarded when I level up and go into the area and conquer that difficult enemy. But on the side, it still bothers me. I don't feel like now I can go in any direction I want out of the start of this game. I can go in any direction I want, but I'll probably die a lot on the way rather than, oh, I'm just not going to play the main story off the bat. I'm going to go in this direction and keep going until I hit the end of the map, and then I'll change directions and maybe do something else. And that to me is a big thing about Bethesda games, is that something a lot of us do. And that might be taken away now because we're gonna probably run into level 30 deathclaws that are gonna rip our freaking heads off. And while that's cool, I like the challenge, I see where they were going with this. It kind of bothers me because it makes other areas in the game kind of useless once you're leveled past them. You go in there, you boom, one pistol shot, they're dead. Because now with this brand new weapon crafting system, I'm constantly going to be making brand new weapons to kind of keep up with the new areas I'm entering, which also makes sense. Everything's useful now, obviously, and that's a huge component to this game. But it also kind of bothers me that now I'll be able to walk into areas when I'm fully leveled up and one-shot everything, and that removes some of the challenge of areas I haven't even explored yet. So now you get what I'm saying. It's a big problem in a way if it's done that way. I could be entirely wrong, and that there'll be quests that are interesting enough that I'm going to want to do them off the bat. But like I said, I'm kind of comparing this to The Witcher 3 because that's kind of what this game's been resembling mostly as a blueprint when it comes to designing the game. It's very similar in that way, and that's not a bad thing because The Witcher 3 is a fantastic game. But Fallout 4 is a totally different style of game, and Bethesda Game Studios is a totally different style of a studio where I feel like this rubber banding system is kind of scary. Another frustrating thing about this rubber banding system that I noticed in The Witcher 3 is that I'll get the access to an awesome side quest through one of the mission boards throughout many towns in The Witcher 3. I'll read about it, I'll go up to the person, talk to them about it, I'll be like, alright, this sounds super interesting, I can't wait to figure out what's happening here in this mystery or this Witcher contract, and then I find out I'm 10 levels short. So now that takes me out of that questing experience, and now I have to go back to it way later on when I won't be as immersed in that experience, and it'll just be kind of one of those things where I'm just kind of checking it off the list and just doing it because, oh, it's there in my quest log, not, oh, I'm really interested in what's happening. Say, there's so many things that can happen within 10 levels in an open world RPG that I may not remember as fondly that quest because I started it and didn't get a chance to finish it because the game didn't let me. But I'm not looking for things to complain about. I just wanted to answer a question that's always asked on my channel, that if there's one big fear for Fallout 4, what is it? And I never had one up until I read this in Game Informer, and I understand that there are things that will kill you, and this makes the world more dangerous, more believable, that Deathclaws are actually these boss-like creatures that will destroy me, and I can't just take on 5 at a time. But I want to be able to still have that freedom of exploration where if I want to go in whatever direction I want and explore damn caves, then please let me do so. Don't hold me back because certain areas, like if I find a random vault and I'm level 10, but it turns out that this is a level 20 vault and I go in there and I just keep dying, now I gotta leave that vault. Remember, I need to come back later. It's just frustrating. I just want that freedom that every Bethesda Game Studios has, and maybe it'll have that but still, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a feature that honestly scares me, and I'm just answering that question. So do you have a feature in Fallout 4 that scares you? Let me know in the comments or on sugarbomb.com, preferably sugarbomb, because I'd love to see a bunch of threads on your #1 fears. As always, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, and I'll catch you guys later. Stay sexy, stay active, I love you all. Peace.